guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. So today we're going to do another one of the category no item runs here in the GT Legendary Goku event. I probably will go through maybe most of the categories in the game. I don't know if I'm going to do like a pure Saiyan one or something like that, right? But, you know, I feel like doing a lot of these sort of like no item category runs does cause me to use some sort of like different characters that sometimes I don't use, like Kefla. Kefla is a character who I feel has aged very, very fast. Especially after using her in this run and then comparing her to units that were released, you know, relatively recently after her. I just feel like she doesn't really sort of hold up as much as some of the other, you know, more recent Dokkan Fests, or even other Dokkan Fests that dropped fairly shortly after her, right? I think the issue for Kefla is that she released basically right before major power creep started. It's hard to say exactly when they started doing it, but pretty much every unit released right around like either LR Jiren or LR STR UI Goku. You could kind of use, I would say, one of those two characters as a starting point. I guess STR UI Goku since he came out first. But those characters, like, a lot of them just proceeded to just be built, I think, much more effectively. Now, if you look at Kefla, right? What is her defensive stat? 11,500 is not exactly bad, right? 17,000 attack is fine. I think more so Kefla. By the time she reaches Super Saiyan 2 in this fight, she is kind of a sitting duck. Her defense really isn't that crazy. I mean, maybe one reason for that is that this team I'm running, we don't have any support. Hit is a support type unit, but he's not support, like he's a extreme STR support type unit, right? So he's not really hitting any characters on this team and giving them the buff, which, you know, definitely sort of hurts, right? Like, so like if Kefla had some better support, we could see higher attack stat numbers from her, higher defensive stat numbers from her. Right, but like, basically, it's a shame because she is built in the correct way, which is where she gets defense at the start of turn and then attack on super, which, you know, again, is always very, very good. And then, you know, once she's Super Saiyan 2, she also then has a 50% chance to dodge at the start of turn. Now, that's sort of what hurts her a little bit. I was just checking right there to see if the friend Kefla is better than mine, which it is, because my Kefla is not level 10 links. She's pretty far along, but I don't have her completed because, honestly, Kefla is, for the most part, a unit I don't really use these days. Again, it's like, she's on a lot of category teams, so, like, I would label her as good. And, you know, she's stacking attack, which certainly can be useful. You know, throughout this long event, we don't really see her hit very high attack stat numbers. But, again, a lot of that has to do with the fact that when she has support next to her, it gives her monster buffs. But, you know, I don't know. It's just the way I found it. It was like she feels, at least in this run for what I'm trying to accomplish, which is a no item run, she feels like the weakest unit on the team, right? Like she's the unit I'm trying to hide, which is just very unfortunate because currently she is not even a year old. Like at the time I'm recording this on May 19th of 2021, she's not a year old because she came out May 29th of 2020. So it is kind of a shame that already this unit I'm just sort of kind of lukewarm on. But a couple of the Dokkan Fests released in, you know, the first half of 2020, I kind of feel funny on, like the transforming Bardock, Exchange Boo, Kefla's better than Bardock, right? Probably. I would say so. But some of those units are a little bit funny. I mean, Kefla and Bardock are way better than Exchange Boo. Like, I don't want to disrespect Kefla and Bardock by comparing them to Exchange Boo, but just those characters have not aged very well. It's just because compare them to Tech Ultimate Gohan, Angel Golden Frieza, Bojack, you know, released in the second half of 2020, and it's like those units are not aging at all. Like, Tech Ultimate Gohan has not aged literally at all. Like, I guess you could say his damage does not compare to, like, you know, what, like, the GT Dokkan Fest Goku and Vegeta are doing or anything like that. But, I mean, Gohan is still guarding, he's still stacking, he still has that ridiculous transformation. So, Gohan is still uber ridiculous, ultra powerful, right? Whereas some characters here, like Kefla, again, Bardock, characters like that have aged a bit. Like, I think Beerus, among a lot of the early 2020 Dokkan Fests, let's not count LRs. We're just talking about Dokkan Fest here. So what? Beerus, Bardock, Blue Kaioken Goku, Int Gotenks, Exchange Buu, and Kefla. I mean, Beerus, I really like Beerus. I think Beerus is great. And then in Gotenks, man, Kefla, one good thing about Kefla is she's on a lot of categories, right? But, dude, in Gotenks, I just find him so useful. It's like, yeah, he's pretty mid in base form. I mean, no, what? How could I possibly argue otherwise, right? He pretty much just sucks in base form. But outside of that, he's really, really good. With the stun chance, his high defense, his Super Saiyan 3 transformation, if you're able to get that off, is godly, right? One of the reasons Gotenks is on the thumbnail for this video. See, look at Kefla taking 50k right there. Now, the Great Ape is very powerful, right? It's not like the Great Ape is weak or anything like that. Keep in mind, Kefla does have a 50% chance to dodge here, too. She could dodge all these hits, but she's just like, nah, I'll just eat these, thanks. I'm just gonna eat all of these hits and do nothing about it, which was very unfortunate, but, basically, getting past that turn right there, we had double Kefla. That was basically our last opportunity to die. I mean, the only way we could die, basically, at this point, would be, like, if the Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, if he split all of his attacks up throughout the, 3 attacks in every spot of the rotation, and then he, supered Kefla and then hit her multiple times. At this point, that's literally the only way we could die, right, is Kefla getting hit. Every other unit on here is great. Tech Caulifla is honestly one of the most valuable units in the game. Like, legitimately, anytime you're fighting a Pure Saiyan or Universal Survival Saga enemy, she has a 100% chance to dodge. That's just so good. The most difficult content in the game currently is the God of Destruction event. It's definitely harder than this event right here. In the God of Destruction event, Caulifla is the best, defensive unit in there. She has a 100% chance to dodge against every single God of Destruction. So, it's just, she's just so valuable. And she does stack defense as well, so that leads to, her, she has guaranteed dodge all the way to Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and then once we reach him, she's got 300k plus defense from her stacking, so she's just not, in danger whatsoever. LR Kale and Caulifla, they have type disadvantage to, Dragon Fist, Full Power Goku, but obviously by the time we get there, their defense will be 700k plus, so they'll be able to tank double digits even from the Dragon Fist, right? So we don't really have anything to worry about when it comes to them. Kefla does have an active skill, by the way. Another reason it's like, man, they really held back a bit on Kefla. Her active skill, you can use that anytime she's in Super Saiyan 2, so that's basically turn 5 at the bare minimum, right? Because turn 5 is the earliest she can go into Super Saiyan 2. And then if there's a Pure Saiyan or Universal Survival Saga enemy, she changes physical key spheres to STR key spheres, and she becomes super effective against all types for one turn. That's solid. It's solid. But it's just, it's difficult for you to achieve that, and I feel like it just doesn't do enough. She should get, honestly, I think she should get an attack and a defensive buff as well. I think would be really good for that active skill. Like, if she also gave herself, maybe just 20% attack and defense, active skill, attack, and defensive buff, that would be really nice. Again, giving her just, more defense than even that would be really good as well, because defense is kind of her one weakness. So, keep in mind that this entire run, Kefla is stacking her attack, by the way. And she still doesn't even get to, godly levels of damage by the time we even reach the end of this event, right? Not even really too crazy. I don't really need to talk about Tech Ultimate Gohan in terms of his role in this run. I mean, he's dominant, right? STR hit. I bring him because his purpose, he kind of fulfills 3 different things, right? Number 1, he's a stacking unit, which is really good. Then he is basically, he's our healer, right? Because he stacks, and then he also creates STR orbs. So if we're low on health, I could just have him get, a bunch of red orbs, and he's going to heal hundreds of thousands of HP, especially deep in the event. So Hit and Kabe, both of them serve as sort of HP regeneration units. Very, very powerful, very effective, right? And then also, Hit is giving the key to himself and Kefla, right? Because the 50% supports, he gives key to STR units, but then the support type buff is only to extreme STR units. But he's still giving key to Kefla, which is still helpful. And then he's also creating those STR orbs, right? Now, if I decide not to give it to Kefla, if I decide not to give it to Hit, which I certainly could if we're not taking a lot of damage, remember that when Super Saiyan 2 Kefla gets 6 Key Spheres or more, she guaranteed double supers, right? So with Hit around, he's going to be creating a lot of STR orbs to make it much easier on Kefla to get these guaranteed double super attacks. I was thinking it probably was a good idea for the most part to let Kefla do that as well, because Kefla is going to be, like, in terms of damage, right, at this point, Gotenks is, like, going to be hitting, like, 5 times as hard as any other unit in the event at this point, right? Number 2 is Tech Ultimate Gohan, I assume, and then probably coming in third is Kefla, all right? I mean, it depends on if we get her the 6 orbs or not, but Gohan is going to be very, very powerful, right? Like, guarding, doing everything he needs to do as well. But Gotenks, he's going to be the one who will tear this guy in half. Like, I used Gotenks. What run was it? Was it Connected Hope? And Gotenks, like, it's like if Gotenks did not go wild, like, I may not have even been able to win, period, right? So, like, Gotenks is just, like, super, super important. To be able to sort of like get this run just very easily done. Because again, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, he has only, what is it? I think it's 4 turns. I think you're able to get 3 rotations of him, where he sort of has guaranteed doubles, well, not guaranteed, but he has a 70% chance to double super attack. And with that, he's just going to do so much damage. So this was a point where I was actually a little bit nervous right here. Because I really wanted to get the AGL orbs with LR, Kale, and Kefla to go ahead and heal us up. But so I was like trying to like figure out the best way to do this. But I was also a little bit scared about Kefla potentially getting hit at the end right there, right? HP regeneration with these defensive stacking units is very, very important. Kefla continuing to stack though, so even though she is taking hits now, she's completely good to go. Still impressive how good LR, Kale, and Kefla are, by the way. This deep into their life cycle, they're now over 2 years old, and they're still so ridiculous. This is what happens when they drop units that are, like, when the day they come out, they're, like, head and shoulders better than every unit in the game. Those units tend to age very gracefully and very well, and that is exactly what happened with LR, Kale, and Kefla. They have aged tremendously, right? Just being very, very effective even to this day. Alright, so now it's time to just get out of the way and let Gotenks handle business. Defensively, he's not going to be the greatest before he super attacks, so I do want to make sure to lead off with Ultimate Gohan, which I do, but then we're able to get a bunch of same-type orbs. The orbs fell the right way. So now Gohan and Gotenks, again, our 2 basically most damaging characters right here, they're going to absolutely just curb stomp this Goku. Look, double crit, double super from Ultimate Gohan while being untouchable. Gotenks is going to do ridiculous damage and then also guaranteed super attack. Remember, he gets this greatly raising attack and defense for 3 turns. So next turn, those 50% attack and offensive buffs he gets on there are going to stick. I also noticed down there what our Dokkan meter is looking like. So if I don't get same type orbs right here, we will actually get the Dokkan attack next turn with Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, and then that will finish this Goku off. So that's why I avoided getting like any same type orbs. I decided not to use Kefla's active skill right there. Again, that way I could avoid getting the Dokkan attack on this turn and get it with Gotenks next turn and finish it off. So let me know what you guys think of the rapid growth category. The category itself is not really that good, but for a long event, you have many monsters on this team who are just specifically catered towards being very good in long events. Many of the Universe 6 characters are just flat out really good for long events, right? And I mean, a lot of what the rapid growth category sort of is kind of the Universe 6 category. Kind of, right? So like with that being a thing, we're just going to be able to easily beat this. Let me know which categories you guys would like to see me no item this with. I mean, even stuff like Namekian. I'm pretty sure Namekian is going to be easily possible because, as long as you're able to keep both Dokkan Fest Piccolos on rotation, you're always going to know where Goku is going to super attack, so it's going to be very difficult for him to deal the death blow. But, I mean, that's going to be like a 50-turn fight. Maybe I'll do that one next. Maybe I'll do Namekian next. I don't know. Maybe, that could be fun, right? Because, again, one thing I like about doing these no-item GT runs right here is I am, like, Kefla, I don't really, like, outside of running the Universe 16, like, I don't remember the last time I even used Kefla, right? I don't use her very much. So that's why, like, I absolutely do not mind, like doing a lot of these no-item runs. And especially, like for a new event, I like to do a lot of content on it and stuff like that. Like, obviously, you know, the time I'm recording this is right before LR Super Android 17 officially releases. He has been officially announced and stuff like that. Obviously, I'll take him into here. He's going to dominate in here as well. That LR Super Android 17, he is very good. It's just they could have designed him better. He could have been better, right? But he is definitely a monstrous buff to Extreme Tech and something that was badly needed. So I'm pretty sure Gotenks is going to finish this off right here. Even if Kefla got super attacked, by the way, I don't think it's an instant death for us. But I think if Kefla got hit multiple times, including with the super attack, we would be in big time trouble at that point, right? So we couldn't allow that to happen. I couldn't let Kefla get super attacked and then normal attack. So even, you know, in these last couple turns right there, we could have been taken out if Goku did the Dragon Fist on Kefla. Our girl Kefla not really able to sustain one of them big time Dragon Fists, so that is a bit unfortunate. There we go. Rapid growth done. No item. A lot of times for these no item runs too, I am dramatically speeding it up, right? Like that entire run took 28 minutes. This recording is only at like 16 minutes right now, so you know, if I didn't speed some of those up, oh boy, would they be taking a long ass time, right? So again, here's where I'll just sort of go through like all the equips and you know, link levels of all of my characters. Again, some of these characters I have used several times in these sort of runs, right? Like, you know, Tech Kefla, and then SCR Hit I've used several times, but they're not fully link level 10. I do have to get those characters done. But again, like always, every time I start talking about, oh, I want to work on this character, this character, this character, it's just like, there's just so many characters to link level in this game, right? Like, I have 880 units in my box exactly. It's just an awful lot of characters to work on, right? I am doing my best and trying to get, you know, some link level 10 showcases out to for characters people ask for, like Bergamo and stuff like that. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.